Bob Huber, Vintage Lambo. Let's take a look at the Pitman arm. Before I take it off the steering box, I want to just confirm alignment marks and everything like that. So let's just go up on the bottom of the steering box. See on that shaft, there's a hash mark there. Okay, you sort of see that. I've got some little black marker on that. We're going to go up to the top here. I have kind of some black on there right now, just getting a general idea of it. But I want to get on the top here and see if we can see a hash mark. I'm going to try and get the light up here and balance the camera at the same time. Will that work? Looks like we could be in pretty good shape. I don't know. We'll see what it is. Once I take it off, I'm going to clean up everything and then confirm the hash mark on the Pitman arm. Okay, and I'll show you what I'm talking about on the table. Okay, so just to let you see, we've got a scrape mark up here where the tire hits, and we don't have it on the other side. We'll just show that real quick. So you can see that on this side, the wheelhouse tire does not hit. So anyway, just trying to sort everything out so that we can try and get everything as spot on as possible. Now this is, again, it's a hand-built car. Also, the tire size is 215/70 on this car, and the original was 205. So the sidewall is a little bit wider. Anyway, we're gonna see, just checking everything out little by little. We're gonna just sort it out and make it as good as it can be. Okay, well, let's go to a very similar steering box and Pitman arm as the 350, and this is off a 68 Acelero. We've got that hash mark right there on the shaft, and if you can see that, we've got the mark right there. So I've gone ahead, marked it there, and now I had the two teeth that this will go in the middle of, so that when I sort it out, then I can get it spot on so it goes on. So let's take a look at what I just took off the 350. And you can see it's a bit greasy and whatnot. Now, we'll try and compare the two together a little bit, but it really needs to be cleaned up. Now, it only matters how it goes on. It's not necessarily how it was on, but how it goes back on. But I was trying to get a good feeling for where it was at. Is it on or not? So just from my looking at it, it looks pretty close. Okay, so if I just zoom this in a little bit, and so we can see this guy where it's very evident where it has that. It almost has a sharp point to it when they tap that on right there. Now these are from things that have happened to it, going on and off in its life. Now here's the 350, and you can probably see that I was putting some markings on it up here, and that could be where it should be. We're just going to have to clean the whole thing up and find out if we can really see. It has to be pretty darn clear, that's for sure. I am going to put just a little dot on here just to signify where it was. I don't want to make anything like someone's going to say, hey, that's got to be it, because I'm not going to put it anywhere up here. It's going to be down here a bit, and then I'll go ahead and clean up the whole thing, and then I'll know where it was, where it should be. It could be spot on. Whatever it is, it's going to go back on, spot on. It's going to take a little bit for me, being that the steering box is in the car, for me to really mark this thing accurately and make sure that this hash mark and these two lines appear that I put on these two teeth, so I can fit it in good. So that's just going to be something on the car, clean it up, and then mark it so that when I slide this thing on and get my head up there somehow, I can see exactly where it's going. Back at the lathe, I'm going to make a couple of these so that I can put them through this. This is the 350. I don't have a good mark on here like I have on the Acelero. Of course, I did mark what I thought it was at, and it does have this little nicky thing up here, which is really wasn't. I can't believe the factory would do that. That just looks very insignificant. The only thing I found on here was this little dot here, which I had to check and see if that can line up to anything, but it's not even centered on the middle of a tooth or on the tip of the tooth. So I'm going to try and compare this with the Acelero. It's the same box, same geometry, everything, and I want to compare the two and see if they come up the same. So I need to make a couple of these guys here so I can put them through here so that I can align this with the other one and put it on top of the other. Okay, long explanation, but anyway, so I need to cut these pieces of aluminum a little bit so it just fits in where the tie rod holes are. Okay, all right. Well, anyway, we'll see it after I machine it just a little bit. So we're going to check for fit here. See, there's a taper naturally, large side here. This is the small side. I'm trying to shoot for the small side to go in just, yeah, it goes in good. It goes in good. I don't want to go any smaller than that. That's plenty. So, okay, so I'm going to do this for one more, and then we'll have a couple things to try and gauge this thing so that we can check the Acelero mark and the 350 mark on the Pitman arms. I need to put something through the big end, so that's what I have here. And I've cut this so that it goes through the big end. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. Essentially 68 Acelero, 65, 66, 350, same suspension geometry in the front. So let's just take a look. Now, I told you that I was going to put a mark on this thing, so let me just it's not that visible, but let's see about making it visible. You see right here, I put a little dot right there, and you know, you saw that little bit of a tidbit up here of a mark that it was marked to. It is right there. So that's essentially where I saw the alignment on it. Now you can see that this is a purposed mark right there. So I'm really thinking that for some reason, I don't know yet, but this does not have a mark on it there. And I don't know if there's this little dot on the bottom has to do with something, but I know that the Acelero steering, suspension, everything is the same. And one tire is hitting the wheel well. The two tie rod lengths are different. Now, I don't know if someone had the wheel a little bit this way and they did that. Now, absolutely, tie rods are meant to be adjustable. Absolutely. I'm just throwing it out there. So, I mean, I'm thinking that it really should be aligned right here, because these are lining up, just this part is lining up exactly the same. You can see that it's just like the other one. So that's what I'm thinking, that this needs to be done. Now, of course, I have this other mark here and I have this mark here. Let's see which one works out. I would think that I'd like to maybe put it on with this mark here right there and put the 350 that way. So tell me what you think on this. And I need to get the seals, and for some reason I ordered the seals for the steering box and they haven't shown up. I think I have to use a different supplier and get these things done so I can get this front suspension completed out. Okay? All right. Well, I'm just going to leave it here right now. It's just going to be another part coming up. Give me some feedback. What do you think about it? Talk to you soon. Please like and subscribe.